Hey guys, thanks for joining me for a Honkai Star Rail video, and today we're going to do a character guide on Silverwolf. Silverwolf is currently on a banner, so I figure I'm going to try to get some guides out on these characters on the banner so you guys can see how good they are. But Silverwolf, I was able to get my girl Silverwolf, so very happy to have her. Now, just so you guys know going into this, she isn't fully built yet. Like, I'm still working on her traces, but I do have her built up enough that I feel like she's usable in the party. And the thing with Silverwolf, she's not really there for damage anyways. She's there for like all of her basically support that she's doing, right, through her debuffing. Her debuffing is crazy. So let's go ahead. We're going to go ahead and take a look at her kit, and then we're going to look at like her light cones, her relics, talk about kind of her best builds and kind of how you want to use her for team building, right? So let's start with her base kit here. Basic attack, nothing too crazy. It's just attack scaled on her attack. Very normal. Her skill, I would say her normal skill is the thing that makes her so valuable. So what this does is when you attack an enemy, as you guys know, enemies have different weakness types above their head. That's what all the different color symbols are. What this skill does is it has a very high percentage. So right now mine's 82%, but it does scale up as you level it up. I still have some more levels to put on it. And obviously if you get dupes on her and get higher level skills, I think you can probably get this to 100%. But even at 80 something percent like I have, it's going to be good enough. But what it will do is it will take some elemental typing that your team contains, and it will add that weakness to an enemy. Now, you can only add one weakness type this way with Silverwolf, so you can't just like throw on every weakness type of your party on one enemy. But odds are, like, depending on how many types are in your party, the enemy might already contain one of the types. So then she would go ahead and put a type that doesn't exist yet on the enemy, right? Which is very good. This to me is like what's so crazy about her. It allows you to do like mono and double element teams where traditionally you'd want to probably contain many elements to have good coverage against all of the enemies you're going to be facing. Silverwolf basically says, I'm going to guarantee every enemy will be weak to something you have on your team, which is really good. And then what she also does is she lowers the resistance of enemies to those elements. So like if she applies quantum weakness to the enemy, it's also going to lower their resistance to that and allow quantum to do more damage. So it's really doing what you want out of a debuffer, and that to me is like the main debuff that makes her good. Her ultimate is really nice also because what you want out of these nihility characters on these basic team builds is you want defense down, you want defense shredding, and that's what her ultimate does. A really big fat defense down, and once again, mine is not maxed out yet. It gets better than this. So yeah, the ultimate's very, very good there. And then her talent is she can randomly create different types of debuffs. So she can either do an attack down, a defense down, or a speed down. And it's pretty much any time that she attacks an enemy, she has a chance to apply one of these debuffs randomly. So, you know, to me, Silverwolf, like just the part where she can apply a weakness to an enemy and the defense down is enough to make her good. So to me, getting the random debuffs here is just like a nice bonus. Just something extra that helps you out, which is really awesome. And then her field technique will just deal quantum damage to the enemy. And then it will reduce the toughness from all enemies. So basically make it so you can do more damage to them, which is good. So you can just enter the battle with basically some defense shredding immediately to do some more damage, right? So with that, let's go ahead and look at her light cone here. Her best light cone obviously will be the 5-star that you can summon for on her banner. But if you don't want to go in and summon for that, I definitely wouldn't, right? Because it's a big investment to go in and summon for a 5-star, and it's hard enough to go in. It's hard enough to go in and summon for a weapon after getting a character, right? The characters are hard enough to get. You don't want to have to go in for the light cones as well. Now, there is a really nice light cone that's called Before the Tutorial Mission Starts, and I believe this was a free-to-play light cone that came with her first event. Now, I don't know if this is still available to players, if they can go back and complete that old content. I do not know, but I know I have this at maxed superimposition, and I was able to upgrade it with a unique material, which tells me, I believe, yeah, don't quote me on this, but I believe this was a free-to-play light cone, and it's very, very good, and it features Silverwolf on the art for a reason, because it's very good for her. So a character like Silverwolf, right, you really want to focus on like her defense reduction and her effect hit rate. On these nihility characters, effect hit rate's very good because it increases the chance that you're going to apply debuffs. So the effect hit rate here is going to help with some of those things I was talking about, where base in her baseline kit, they're not guaranteed. Well, with proper amount of effect hit rate, it basically will be guaranteed, right? So effect hit rate is a very good stat you want to get on her. And then what's also great about this is that when the wearer attacks defense reduced enemies, which Silverwolf is already going to be doing, she regenerates energy, and energy regen is a great thing from a support slash debuff type of character. So I think, like, for most players, this 4-star is going to be an amazing budget option. If you happen to pick up the 5-star Welt one, which I actually have this, but the 4-star I think is better. The 5-star Welt one is not as good as the 4-star one. And the reason why, actually, I can show you. I've got it on my Welt right here. So this is the Welt one. The thing with the Welt one is it increases damage to debuffed enemies. And then the effect hit rate increases. So the effect hit rate part is nice, but this is more of like a damage dealing light cone. And I see this obviously better for Welt, because Welt I see as more of a damage dealer nihility character, where Silverwolf is more of like a support type. So I really don't like this light cone as much on Silverwolf. I like the 4-star one much better, where you're really working on the effect hit rate, and then like the energy regen I think is really, really nice on that for what Silverwolf is doing in her role, right? So that's kind of what I would recommend there for light cones. Now there are some other budget options. I think it's I pulled a lot of these on the banner. I don't know that it's not featured because light cones aren't featured, but what is it? The Luca, is it Luca or Lucas? What is this guy's name again? Is it Lucas or Luca? Let me double check this physical guy here. I've got him. Why am I not seeing him? I don't think I powered him up that much. But you guys know the punchy physical guy that is a 4-star character. His light cone is actually a solid one you can use. Oh, this guy right here. Sorry. Yeah, Luca, that's his name. So Luca's light cone, which I don't have, but that's, Luca, this guy. The light cone with him on it, resolution shines as pearls of sweat. That one can be okay. It has like this unique ensnare debuff, and then when the enemies are ensnared, it does lower defense. So it is supporting what she wants to do, right? And then there's another light cone called Eyes of the Prey that you could use as well. It's also an effect hit rate up, so that's nice. So as long as you can get a light cone with at least effect hit rate up, I'd say that's very good. But once again, on Silverwolf, right? Really, really liking her own light cone, her own 4-star light cone. They're very good. Okay, next let's look at our relics and kind of how you want to build her. I think for relic sets, so I'm going 4 of the Musketeer of Wild Wheat. Now, with the Wild Wheat set, it's an attack up for a 2-piece set, and a 4-piece set, it's the speed up and basic attack damage up. Really, why you're going to see this Wild Wheat set recommended on a lot of support characters. So you're going to see this as recommendations on Harmony characters and Nihility characters. Like, I think I use this on Ting Yun and on Pela, which they're respectively Harmony and Nihility characters. The reason why it's not for the damage, right? Like, these aren't damage dealing characters. It's literally just because it gives you a speed up. Like, that's the main reason that this is kind of recommended on those characters, because you just want to get them more turns to be able to do their support, right? Now, the one thing I will say with Silverwolf is you could go Genius of Brilliant Stars, which is the Quantum set. It actually, like, it fits her kit kind of well, in terms of if she was a damage dealer. And if you actually look at Genius of the Brilliant Stars, we can look at it here on Sela, you can see it's got like the gloves, the goggles, like the techie looking stuff. It actually looks like stuff Silverwolf would wear. So there's parts of it that feel themed around her, right? So what Genius of the Brilliant Stars does on a 4-piece set is it ignores 10% defense when you deal damage. And then if the enemy specifically has quantum weakness, the wearer additionally ignores 10% defense. So Silverwolf, the reason why this fits so well is she can guaranteed put quantum weakness on, which therefore guarantees she's going to have a 20% damage reduction. The problem is Silverwolf, I don't see her as a damage dealer unless if you actually get dupes into her, like an E6 Silverwolf, I think actually can do really good damage. So I would say if you have a lot of dupes in your Silverwolf, you might want to go Genius of the Brilliant Stars. But I prefer using this on a DPS quantum character like Sela here, like I have, in conjunction with Silverwolf on the team. Because what I can do is this defense down only affects the wearer, right? On the Genius of the Brilliant Stars. It's not going to affect other characters. So Sela could wear this, have the benefit of the defense down, and then Silverwolf could apply the defense down for me to ensure Sela is always getting 20% damage reduction, or defense reduction on the enemies, which is really, really good, right? So on Silverwolf herself, I would say for like an E0 or like a low dupe build, I would just go Wild Wheat to give her more speed. That way it'll allow her to apply the weakness more quickly and get the turns that she needs, right? So that's what I'd recommend there. And then on her ornaments or her planner spheres, whatever, the simulated universe materials, you definitely want to go with this one here, which is the Pan Cosmic Commercial Enterprise. This is definitely what you want because this is the effect hit rate one. So once again, effect hit rate I think is one of the best stats for her. And then it does increase her attack based on hit rate, but really you just want this for the hit rate. I think this is the best one you could put on her. And what I would do with this is when you're going for the planner sphere here, you want quantum damage, which you can see I got there. Quantum damage, I think, is the best thing. And then on the rope, you definitely want energy regen rate. And energy regen rate, I would say for a lot of characters, is one of the premium options you always want on the rope. Because to get more energy regen is going to allow you to get your ultimate more often. And not every relic can have energy regen rate. I think it's one of the few that actually can have that as a skill. So I would shoot for that if you can. Now as a backup, like attack percentage, you could throw that there, especially if you're doing the more offensive Silverwolf build. Sure, you could do that, right? And then once again, on the body, for the relics that actually matter for where you can choose, the body, you 100% want effect hit rate, I think. Once again, the more you can put on that, the better. And then that also goes in conjunction with the planner sphere because it wants more effect hit rate to get more buff. So effect hit rate, I would say we would go that on the body. You could go, once again, attack percent if you're going a more offensive build with her, but I feel like that's not really the way I would build Silverwolf, right? And then on the feet, I think you 100% want speed. You want her to go faster. You want her to go burr. You want her to go fast. Once again, your backup there would probably just be like attack percentage or something like that. Or if you want, honestly, over attack on some of these, I'd almost go more defensive and just do defense or HP if like you can't get the premium stat. But once again, I think body effect hit rate, feet, you want speed. Planner sphere, go quantum damage. And then link rope, you want energy regen rate. Now, I do think on the planner sphere, quantum damage, I guess, since she isn't like a crazy damage dealer, I think she's going to be able to do some nice chip damage here and there. But sure, this is a spot where if you wanted to opt for like HP or defense to make her have a little bit more survivability, you maybe could do that there, right? For sure. All right, so with that, I think we've really covered everything on her. So yeah, let's go ahead and we're just going to hop into a quick fight here. And what I decided after, doing a couple character guides and figuring this out, I figured Forgotten Hall is probably the best place to showcase. Simply because, and I've got a team preset up here, so we're going to go ahead and hop in, because then I can show the field skill, and then it's going to have enough, the bosses will be tough enough that we can kind of show off the fight a little bit, right? So sure, let's go ahead and hop in here. All right, so let's go to Silverwolf. Well, what I can do, since I have everybody, we'll use like everybody's field skills that we can. All right, and then Silverwolf is going to be an attacking field skill, so we'll do Jinglu to freeze, and then we'll hit that. So once again, with Silverwolf, this is going to do damage with Quantum, and it's going to apply some reductions right away, just to give us a head start on her damage, right? So here's Silverwolf, and I chose this fight specifically. So if we look at our middle enemy here, he's got fire, ice, and wind weakness, right? So the idea here is we're running a team that's just quantum and ice. So you kind of want to minimize the amount of elements on your team, because now Silverwolf can apply a random weakness that is from our team that the enemy does not already have. So what's going to happen here is when I hit her skill, which is impaired, this should give us quantum weakness. Right, and there we go. Now this enemy is weak to quantum. So now I've opened up Sela to be able to break. Jinglu could already do that, but this is so game breaking, because here's an enemy where Sela maybe wouldn't be that great on this fight. And now because of Silverwolf, we've opened that up, that Sela is very good. And I think the other reason why I can recommend Silverwolf to a lot of players, Sela was the first ever 5-star in the game. So most players went for her because, one, you want to start your account off strong with a good DPS, and it's first banner. So everybody wants to summon on the first banner because you want to summon on the new game to try to get the new things, right? I remember on Genshin, I went for Venti. Now, if Venti wasn't the first character, I don't know that I would have gone for him. Even though he's very good, he's not really my type of character. But I went for him just because, hey, hey, new game, new banner, I got to try the summoning mechanic. I want to start getting stuff from my account. So any player that's played since the beginning probably has Sela, and Sela's already done a rerun too. So I think Sela is just a fan favorite DPS, and Silverwolf just pairs so well with Sela that you kind of want to have her, right? I'm going to go ahead and do an attack here with Sela. Okay, and then sure, we got the bonus here with Jinglu. We're going to go Unga Bunga Crazy Go Burr damage. And okay, so that first fight is done, but I think we got another wave here, right? So we want to get some more turns with Silverwolf to show her off. So once again, here's a fight where Sela's got really nothing going on. So now Silverwolf could impair here, and Silverwolf doesn't have the ultimate. So yeah, let's go ahead and let's impair. We'll impair the monkey. Let's get the monkey. Bam, and there you go, quantum damage, and now we've got the ultimate, so we're going to hit her ultimate here, and the ultimate is going to do a really nice defense down on the enemy, and once again, we got effect hit rate to help that. Now, keep in mind, the damage isn't going to be looking that impressive with my Silverwolf. I'm still working on building her out, but once again, the damage isn't really what matters. It's what she's doing for the team, and now here goes Jinglu with all the defense down, the weaknesses. Let's just pop off a bunch of damage. Sure, 80k is pretty solid right there. And then Lynx is just going to do a normal attack. But guess what? Lynx can help break because we have quantum weakness. Now here comes Sela. And the reason why Silverwolf also combos well with Sela, allowing Sela to break can help Sela do more damage. And if she KOs enemies, remember, she gets to steal free turns. So let's see. I don't know if I can do enough here. Maybe. Oh, pretty close. But Sela's going to jump in here. With the ultimate, I'm going to hit the, the big grasshopper guy. Now, we're not hitting weakness here because Silverwolf hasn't had a chance, but still pretty good damage there. All right, now Silverwolf, unfortunately, we ended on without a skill use here, so we have to attack. But I would have wanted to impair that right enemy for sure. But guess what? We just popped them through the effect there. So anyways, guys, there you go. That's Silverwolf. Very simple and easy to play, right? It's really about just put that impair on, hit the ultimate when you can. You do the regular attack when you need some skill use. But she really brings so much value to the team because right there, as you saw, we were able to hit weakness on an enemy we had no business getting weakness on, and it was super awesome. So let me know what you guys think of Silverwolf. Thanks for watching. We'll catch y'all on the next one.